Street maintenance. Snow removal. What you need to know. When our city public works crews hit the streets, they never know what to expect. Their goal is to get the streets open and traffic moving as quickly as possible. But there are a number of factors that influence their effectiveness. The goal of this program is to provide residents of Bismarck Mandan with a refresher about snow removal priorities and procedures. You'll also learn about some of the challenges that face equipment operators in our community. In Mandan, there are over 100 miles of streets to clean with 8 operators and 8 plows. The capital city, more than 300 miles of roadway and 29 operators working in shifts to provide 24/7 sanding and snow removal services. Their priorities for clearing city streets are in this order: emergency routes and major high-traffic arterial streets, school emergency routes when school is in session, and then residential streets and alleys. In the downtown area or central business district, signs are posted to remind citizens that overnight parking is restricted on streets on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for snow removal, and every Tuesday and Thursday for the avenues. There's not a lot of room downtown for snow to sit, so it must be removed as quickly as possible. During snowstorms, important roadways are kept open at all times, but city crews will wait until the snowfall lets up before getting into residential areas, because they don't want to use valuable manpower to plow these twice. During storms, crews will work around the clock to keep the arterial routes passable. Every 18 to 20 hours, the plows have to go back to the shop because the cutting edge becomes worn from scraping the city streets and it needs to be replaced. At the shop, these same teams of workers do general equipment maintenance, fueling to, and then edge replacements and other work. Next, we'll take a look at the major functions relating to snowy streets, and then we'll hear from a couple of drivers about the challenges of the job. The first is sanding and salting, which the public works departments do before and after plowing, depending on the iciness of the roads. They can't respond to individual requests for sanding because if it's icy, it's probably icy all over town. But they do sand and salt during evening and early morning hours if contacted by the police department about hazardous spots. However, salt does not melt snow if the outside temperature is 20 degrees or less. The second function of road crews in winter is plowing. Generally, crews will plow when there is 4 inches of snow accumulation, and it's their goal to have streets open within 24 to 48 hours after a storm. So after such storms, residents should move their vehicles from streets to allow for full-width plowing.
The biggest obstacle is traffic, parked cars, people blowing their snow back in the street after we plow the street, just working around the cars and plowing up against them.
Bismarck's yellow vehicles have Snowgates. Mandan's orange trucks do not. Bismarck citizens voted for Snowgates, which dropped down to help stop most of the snow from being piled up in a ridge in front of a person's driveway. In the city ordinance, it states that Bismarck crews should use Snowgates to provide usual access from driveways or other openings to public streets. These gates are an added taxpayer expense and don't work well in wet snow, but residents seem to appreciate them. Sometimes you will see a big plume of snow being sprayed into an open area. This is called casting, and it's cheaper than hauling snow out of a section of the city, so crews do this when they go by a park, a field, or an open area like around the industrial zones. Last is hauling. When too much snow has accumulated, Bismarck will haul snow only from emergency routes to an open area to be dumped. In Mandan, which has many narrow streets, workers will haul snow during the day from residential areas when people are at work and their cars are normally off of the city streets. Mandan has had success with using the reverse 911 system to call property owners. That's to call them ahead of time to tell them when snow will be hauled away from their streets so they can move their cars out of the way. Unfortunately, some residents leave their cars on the street and snow piles up around them, which can be dangerous for snowplows and other drivers. Some people even park in front of their driveways or boulevards so plows can't pile snow there. And some cars are just abandoned and have to be towed. These are just some of the challenges that plow operators face. These drivers aren't simply driving any old truck around town. They are multitasking all of the time by veering around parked cars, shifting gears, watching for cars that are tailgating them, and dumping snow into trucks or casting it into open areas. They appreciate residents who are patient and who stay 50 feet back from the equipment, which is the posted requirement. They worry about running into pedestrians, parked cars, or moving vehicles, so they ask for your cooperation. Because as much as they would like to, they can't create summer driving conditions in the winter, and there's only so much sand and salt that can be put down. So the public needs to drive defensively and follow snow removal rules.
Just give us room so we can do our job and make it safer for the public. We don't want anybody hurt, and we don't want any of our people hurt.
City ordinance states that it's illegal for residents to blow, push, or throw snow from their own sidewalks, driveways, or parking lots into the street, and it is punishable by a fine. The reason for this is because it makes it difficult for equipment operators to plow, and it adds to the amount of snow the operator has to push. Please report violators to the police department so we can discourage this behavior, which slows down the plowing effort. So the next time you see your city crews trying to maintain the streets, remember they have a lot of roads to clear, so give them some room and your respect. If you have any questions about snow removal in the cities of Bismarck and Mandan, please contact the Street Division of your City Public Works Department.